And I'm going to start with history subject, and we'll continue with the same chapter which we have started in the previous lectures, that is historiography in Indian culture. Sorry, in Indian tradition. So we have already started with the lecture, children. So in few minutes I'm going to just recap whatever we have learned today, and then we'll start with the next topic. So we'll first take the revision of the previous completed part. To begin with, we have studied historiography, definition of historiography. In that we have studied that how that what is historiography. Historiography is nothing but the writing of history in a critical way. That means historiographers analyzes the facts, and they are just going through all those facts, and they will just analyze. They'll follow different method, trial and method by building the facts, and whatever whenever they will come the conclusion, they will write it in the records. That is called historiography. Then we have studied three important types of history, that is ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. Then in ancient history we have studied that what comes in ancient history um, and how it is built up. That in that we have studied about the mythological lores. We have studied that oral recitals, then different kinds of inscription, archaeological excavation leads to building up of the ancient history, and ancient history is one of the oldest history. Then what comes in ancient history, mythological laws will come, inscriptions will come, as you can see on the screen also. These are the inscription from Harappa civilization. Then on your right side there is stupa of Sachi. Then again this is stupa of Ashoka. Then again what comes in ancient mythological works, Ramayana, Mahabharat, Banabhatta by Harsha Charitra by Banabhatta. All these will come in ancient period. Then we have studied about the medieval period also. What comes in medieval period? All the all the dynastical work will come under this. That Raja Tarangini. उसके बाद Raja Tarangini has written Kalhana on the history of Kashmir. Then Tuzuke Babri, Tuzuke Firoz Shahi, as you can see on the picture also. Akbar Rama, which is written by Abul Fazl. Kaifiyat, different kinds of Bakhar, Bahu Sahib Bakar, Kaifiyat, all the Bakhar literature, which includes the history of Maratha, which we have studied in this particular part. Then moving further, we have studied about the modern period, children. In modern period, we have studied about the latest history, in mainly history from 1857 to civil till Indian independence. All this will come in this. Then mostly this history is affected by, or mostly this history has been attracted by the post colonial impact. That means colony, the Britishers has, we the colony of, we the India were used to be the colony of the Britishers, and they used to rule us, and whatever they have seen here they have jotted down, and that comes in the modern history. There are different historians, a British historian, those who have written the history. There's Frederick Max Muller. Then there are the James Mill. Then we have studied about the colonialism. In that we have studied about the political, social, economic, and cultural domination of a particular territory on particular on by a foreign power that comes under the colony. मैंने example आपको दिया था कि जैसे कि इंडिया जो है ब्रिटिश की कॉलोनी थी, they used to travel to the India, और उन्होंने जहाँ पे यहाँ पे, for example, these are the few important historians, those who have written the Indian history. That is Alexander Cunningham, John Marshall. Then first Britishers to write about Indian history is Sir James Mill. Then we have studied about the Orientalism. That means those who were, they used to, Oriental is something which is related with East, and those who are impressed by the speciality of the East Asia, and those who have written about these particular things, they are called as Orientalist. Now, study of Orient means the study of Orients, something which we have, those who have written in the praise of particular period. So in that we have studied about the one important historian, that is Friedrich Max Müller. We have studied that how he was impressed by the Rig Veda, and he has translated those Rig Veda in different volumes. Then he has also translated Hitopadesh, book by which is mainly related with topic of animals and men. Scat books of Hindus, that is Rig Veda, which is also translated by Friedrich Max Müller. And they have also praised about the Sanskrit language. In that they have studied, what they have told is that Sanskrit is the mother of all the languages, and all the language has been born from the Sanskrit, because in all the languages we found some or other kinds of Sanskrit words, and it is one of the oldest languages of the world. So they were impressed by the Indian culture, tradition, and especially the culture of East Asia, and whatever they have written, that's come under the Orientalist historiography. Now, children, today we are starting with another topic from this lesson only, that is nationalist historiography. Now, children, nationalist historiography is the third and the last part of this ideological framework, that is national. Now, the term nationalistic has been derived from the word national, nation, something which is related with our country. You might have listened the term nationalism. Now, nationalism, we can say that particular person is very nationalist. That means he cared about one's own nation. he praises that particular nation. उसको वो nation बहुत ज्यादा पसंद है, उसको हमारी country बहुत ज्यादा पसंद है, nationalistic. उसको अपनी country पे क्या है, गर्व है, फख्र है. So हम उसको बोल सकते हैं कि that particular person is very nationalistic. Okay, so it is an ideology. So in that period, the people, those who have written about their nation, or example India, जिन्होंने इंडिया के बारे में लिखा उस वक्त, those will come under the nationalist historiographers or nationalistic historiography. Now, what are the work of nationalistic historiographer, or what will come under the nationalistic historiography? The writing of Indian historians who were trained in the British educational system show an inclination to restore the pride in the ancient glory of India and the self-esteem of Indian readers. Their writings are known as nationalistic historiography. As I have told you, that those who were impressed by the Indian culture and traditions, though it will come under the nationalistic historiography. Now, children, inclination, that means उनको एक उनकी तरफ खिंचाव महसूस हुआ, inclination to restore the pride. उनको ऐसा लगा कि हमारी जो हिस्ट्री है, हमारा जो कल्चर एंड ट्रेडिशन है, that should be restored, otherwise it can be damaged by the British historiographers. As you might have seen in the previous chapters, I've told you that there are some British historians, though used to make fun of the Indian tradition. They used to tell that if the Indian should progress, Indian tradition should be changed, and that can only be possible through the Western culture. They should adopt the Western culture and they should leave the Indian tradition. So there are these historians, and there are some Indian historians, those who used to think that we should restore our traditional culture, we should restore our traditional glory, and we should follow our Indian tradition also, and we should write Indian history. Otherwise, it can be damaged by the British historian or the foreign historian. So they used to write about the Indian tradition and culture, and those people or those historians or those writings came to be known as nationalistic historiography. Nationalistic writing in Maharashtra were inspired by Vishnu Shastri Chaplinkar. Now we'll study about the different historians and how they have written about the different history, or about the different parts of India, or about on the different parts of the India. Now the first one historian that is come in this particular topic is Vishnu Shastri Krishna Shastri Chiplunkar. He hails from the Maharashtra. Now his career has as a writer began in 1868 with his articles in the periodical Shala Patrak, the school paper founded by his father. Notable in this period are the critical appraisal of the Sanskrit poets Kalidas, Bhaubhati Bana, Subhandhu, and Dandi. The article introduced his reader to Western tradition of literary criticism. They were later published as Sanskrit Kavi Panchak, Sanskrit Kavi Panchak. Eventually, they became of the editor of the periodicals. However, some of his articles criticized the product of British government and Christian missionaries, proved controversial, and the ensuring of recuperation forced the closure of Shala Patrak in 1875. As his famous work is मराठाचा इतिहास मराठाचे इतिहासाची साधने. His famous work was this particular book. As you can see on the screen also, this is the image of the book. Now Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar was famous for his nationalistic writings. In Maharashtra, he criticized the prejudice history of the ancient India written by the British officer. As I have told you, that he criticizes the work of the British historians by saying that they were manipulating the facts. वो manipulate कर रहे हैं Indian facts को और Indian tradition को, and they are showing the wrong side of the Indian culture. There are some see always, for example, there is always some good or a bad thing of anything. कुछ भी चीज हो उसका हमेशा सही और गलत होता है. So what he claimed that British historians are showing the wrong side of the Indian culture. He criticized the prejudice history of ancient Indian history written by British officers. The nationalistic historian tried to seek the golden era of the Indian history. They are at times blamed for ignoring the critical analysis of the historical truth. That means he claimed that British historians is not analyzing anything and they are just writings. They are just expressing the wrong face of the Indian tradition, and that should be stopped. So Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar was the first to claim all these facts, and this should be stopped. Then another famous historian from the nationalistic historiography is V.K. Rajwade. He is well known for his writing in Marathi on varied subjects like history, linguistics, etymology, grammar, etc. He was of the firm opinion that we should write our own history. Now, he was the opinion that we should write our own history. We should conclude our own facts. Otherwise, it will go in another foreign hands or in the foreign power or with the foreign historian. It will going to be damaged or it will going to be manipulated. That means अगर foreigners ने हमारी history को लिखा तो वो क्या होगा, वो गलत लिखेंगे, and we should take a stand and we should by our own, we should have our own writing skills of our own Indian history. He compiled and edited 22 volumes of Marathache Sadhne. He wrote very scholarly preface to each of the 22 volumes. He stated history to the all-inclusive images of the past societies. It does not include only the stories of political images, conspiracies, and wars for seizing power. He stated the history should be written only using the authentic documentary sources. See, Marathachi Ityasi Sadhne, his book is published in many volumes. The first is published by Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar and another 22 volumes V.K. Rajwade. So don't confuse between these facts. Now, I want to tell you that what he said that history should be written whenever you have the authentic documentary about that particular event. जब आपके पास उसके पास authentic proof है, authentic documentary है, at that time only you should write that particular fact. Otherwise, you should not search or you should not be ready to write that particular thing. Now, children, I want to show you one important
Indian historiography.
One important video which is related with the same thing, that is nationalistic historiography.
Versity. In his book Oriental historians who were trained in the British educational system university in his book Orientalism, 1978, had re-evaluated the Orientalistic writings whilst throwing light on the imperialistic interests of Orientalist scholars. Nationalist historiography. Indian scholars and historians who were trained in the British educational system never wanted Western civilization to displace the Indian civilization as the Christian missionaries had desired. Rather, they only wanted the West to revitalize Indian culture as Raja Ram Mohan Roy had emphasized in the mid 18th century CE. Consequently, they undertook steps to reform the age old Indian socio religious scenario and thereby rejuvenate ancient Indian culture. Through their writings, they began to instill one's pride in the ancient glory of India and a sense of self reliance, self respect, and self confidence among the Indians, which was suppressed for a long period. Since their writings spread national consciousness on a large scale and aspired for freedom from the foreign rule, it is known as nationalist historiography. Nationalistic writings in Maharashtra were spearheaded by Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar. He criticized the prejudiced history of ancient India written by British scholar officials. Chiplunkar, like other nationalistic historians, aimed to revive the golden era of Indian history. On the other hand, nationalistic historians were at times Mount Stuart Elphinston, the administrator turned ignoring the critical analysis of historical truth. Besides Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar, Mahadev Govind Ranade, Ramkrishna Gopal Bhandarkar, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Rajendra Lal Mishra, Ramesh Chandra Mazumdar, Kashi Prasad Jaiswal, Radha Kumud Mukherjee, Bhagwan Lal Indrajit, Vasudev Vishnu Mirashi, and Anant Sadashiv Aldekar were some of the renowned nationalist historians. Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade, in his book The Rise of Maratha Power, 1900, had explained the background of the rise of Maratha Empire between 1674 to 1818 CE. According to him, this epoch-making development had not occurred as a sudden forest fire. Rather, its preparations in Maharashtra on social, cultural, and religious levels had continued over a prolonged period. Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade was an eminent historian, scholar, writer, commentator, and orator from Maharashtra. He was well known for his writings in Marathi on varied subjects like history, linguistics, etymology, grammar, etc. He was of a firm opinion that Indians should write their own history. He compiled and edited 22 volumes of Marathyanच्या Itihasaची Sadhane, History of the Marathas. He also wrote scholarly prefaces to each of these 22 volumes. He stated, history is the all-inclusive image of past societies. It does not include only stories of political images, conspiracy, and wars for seizing power. He insisted that history was to be written using authentic documentary sources. V.K. Rajwade founded the Bharat Itihas Samshodak Mandal in Pune on 7th July 1910 CE to facilitate historical research. V.K. Rajwade often used to say, human history is defined by time and place. Describing of any event necessitates that the final portrayal should be spread on the complete canvas of the given time and place. Only if a balanced combination of three factors, time, space, and personalities, is present, then only an event does qualify to be called so. As mentioned earlier, nationalism In this aspect, a book entitled The Indian War of Independence 1909, written by Swatantriya Veer Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, was of great importance. Throughout the years, nationalist historiography provided a momentum to the writing of regional histories as well. As a result, numerous historians turned their attention towards the study of geographic conditions and history of South Indian regions.
As you can see in, as you have seen in the video, we'll continue with our PPT now. That is V.K. Rajwade. That is well known for his writing in Marathi on varied subjects like history, linguistics, etymology, grammar, etc. He was of the firm opinion that we should write our own history. He compiled and edited 22 volumes of Marathaच्या इतिहासाची साधने. He wrote very scholarly preface to each of the 22 volumes. He stated history is the all-inclusive image of the past society. It does not only include the stories of political images. That means we should not only write about the kings or their their particular era or about the particular dynasties, conspiracies. What are the different conspiracies? What are the different treaties they have with other kings? Or war, what are the different fights? For example, in history, if you'll see, you will study about the different wars. For example, war of Panipat first, second, third, then first world war, second world war. So what he said, that history, it doesn't include all these things, that कि सिर्फ राजा महाराजाओं के बारे में पढ़ने से उन्होंने किसके साथ कैसे सियासत की, कैसे पॉलिटिक्स किया, और उन्होंने किस तरह से किसके साथ कौन से ट्रीटीज किए, और उन्होंने कौन सी जंग किसके साथ लड़ी, सिर्फ यही नहीं है हिस्ट्री, बल्कि हिस्ट्री क्या है, इट इंक्लूड्स ऑफ अ सोसाइटी, एक सोसाइटी है जिसके बारे में हमको पढ़ना है, और इट इंक्लूड्स सोशल, इकोनॉमिक, कल्चरल बैकग्राउंड ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर society. Instead, the history should be written only using the authentic documentary system. As I've already told you, that we should construct history on the facts, and whenever we have authentic document, then only we should compile particular book. Then another famous historian from the nationalistic historiography is Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. He has written his famous work, First War of Independence, 1857. Now, as you all know that the rising of first war, the rising of 1857, जो हमारी 1857 की जो क्रांति थी, वो फर्स्ट वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस भी कहलाई है, because due to the work of the Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. Now, the book initially written in Marathi and was penned by Savarkar in response to celebrate in Britain of the 15th anniversary of 1857 Indian uprising with record from Indian officers' archives. The project received support from Indian nationalists in Britain, including like Madam Kama, VVS Iyer, and MPT Acharya, as well as Indian students who had dared not show their support or sympathy in London at the India House. It sought to bring the Indian movement to public attention in Britain, as well as to inspire nationalist revolution in India. Now, whenever he started penning this particular book, so many people have supported that time. For example, Madam Kama, VVS Iyer, MPT Acharya, and the students, those who were used to study abroad or in London at that time, they showed there to support Vinayak Swatantra Veer Vinayak Savarkar to make his book complete. उन्होंने book को complete करने में क्या किया? To make him complete the book about the first uprising of the Indians, that is the first war of independence in the year 1857. And as you all know that 1857 was the biggest uprising which the Britishers faced, and they crushed that particular uprising. I think one film is also there, Mangal Pandey, of the Amir Khan. In that movie also you can see the about that particular uprising. The full story has been narrated in that particular film, so you can see that particular movie also for the more information about that particular uprising. And I think in your 8th standard also you might have studied about this particular uprising of the 1857. Then another famous historian from the nationalistic historiography is Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade. He is from the he is again from the Maharashtra, and he's the judge at that time. He explained the background of the rise of Maratha Empire in great details in his book. In his book, The Rise of Maratha Power. According to him, it was not like a suddenly erupted forest fire, but the ground for it in Maharashtra on the social, cultural, and religious level was getting already over a prolonged period. Now, what he told that the reign of Shivaji Maharaj, right, the reign of Shivaji Maharaj is not a sudden outcome. It is not overnight. ऐसे नहीं कि रातों रात ये change हो गया and Shivaji Maharaj came to the power, but the whatever preparation was there, or the people want that change in their society, that they they want Shivaji Maharaj, and all on all the background, on the social, cultural, on the economic, religious background, they want this change, and that's why this change has been fed, and it has taken the long period. It is not come overnight. So again, the rise of Maratha power is one of the famous work. If you'll take history on a graduation level, or if you'll take history on entire, you will all study these books for your reference or for making the notes. Then again, this is the famous quote by V.K. Rajwade, that what he has written, that human history is identified the time and space, describing any event necessity that the final portrait should be spread on the complete canvas of given time and space. Only if a balanced combination of the three factors, that is time, space, and personality is present, then only an event does qualify to be called so. Penned by V.K. Rajwade. That what he told, that if we want to write particular history, or if we want to write particular event of the history, at that time we should consider three important factors, which is time, time, space, and personality. Time, that means particular year. Space, where that particular event has done, or where that particular event has been done, or personality, or who has that particular event. For example, I'll give you an example of the Panipat battle. For example, Panipat battle, at what period that has been happened, what was the year of that time, then what was the place where that particular war has been had been fought, or third हम बोल सकते हैं who were the persons, or who were the individual that's where those were involved in that particular war. Okay, so for example, I'll give you the example, another example of First World War. First World War time, 1914 to 1919. Space in the European countries. Personalities, different. For example, one group is led by England, France, Russia, America, and another group was led by Germany, Belgium, Austria. This was another group. So when we have all these three important facts, time, space, and personalities, at that time only we should consider to write that particular event. Then only that particular event will be authentic, and it will be completely depend on the facts. Now, moving towards another part of our lesson, that is historiography in the post-independent period. Post-independent मतलब हमारे आजादी के बाद, pre-independent period मतलब हमारी आजादी के पहले, before 1947, and post-independent means after 1947. Then what are the different ideological schools we have here? The historiography of this era has been influenced mainly by three ideological schools, and those three ideological schools are Marxist history, that is, and second one is subaltern history, and third one is feminist history. Now, these are the three important ideological schools. Children, don't confuse between ideological frameworks and ideological schools. Ideological frameworks are colonial, then we have Orientalist, and third one is nationalistic. And ideological schools are Marxist, subaltern, and feminist. So don't confuse between ideological frameworks and ideological schools. So first school that we're going to study in this particular part is Marxist history. Now, Marxist, this term Marxist has been mainly originated from the term, this particular term has been originated from Russia. That means Marxist or Marxism has been started from the Karl Marx period, और उनकी जो history है, that means they believe in the power of labor. They believe in the power of the third class. That means first one is led by kings and queens, second one is their royals, and third one the common person. That they believe in the power of the common person, that the people, those who used to believe in that particular thing, they were called as Marxist, and the term Marxism has been derived from the same. So Marxist history, the concern of the means of the production, modes of production, and the industrial relations were at the center in the writing of the Marxist historians. As I will told him, they used to believe in the power of the common person of the working class. मतलब कि जो काम करता है, for example जो काम करता है और जो लोग टैक्स पे करते हैं, they believe कि पावर भी उन्हीं के हाथ में होना चाहिए. So all these communist nation, for example Russia, we have China, they believe in this theory only, that फर्स्ट क्लास, ये पुराने जमाने में जैसे पहले जो थे पहले किंग और क्वीन, उसके बाद उनके नोबल्स आते थे सेकंड क्लास में, एंड थर्ड क्लास पे जो आते थे जो वर्किंग क्लास थी, एंड और ये थर्ड क्लास ही जो है काम भी करती थी, तीसरी जो रहती थी क्लास, एंड दे यूज्ड टू पे द टैक्स आल्सो, राइट. सो व्हाट दे यूज्ड टू टेल, दैट we are the class who used to work also, and we are also paying the tax, so we should also have the power to run the government. And with this philosophy, this Marxism concept or this Marxist whole philosophy has been originated by Karl Marx, and that's why what they believe in production. मतलब के factories में जो production होता है, that modes of production, technologies, different kinds of industrial relation were at the center in the writings of the Marxist. और जितने भी Marxist historiographer है, उन्होंने इसी चीज को लेकर उन्होंने अपनी history लिखी है. The impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of Marxist historiography. Marxist history in India studied the tradition with the caste system, within the caste system. Among the notable Indian historians who adopted Marxist ideological framework, scholars like Damodar Dharmanand Kosambi, Comrade Shripad Amrut Dange, Ram Sharan Sharma, Comrade Sharad Patil have contributed notably. Comrade Dange was one of the founder member of Indian Communist Party. As I have already told you, that this Marxist philosophy is totally related with Communist Party or Communist philosophy. That means the country, those who have communist system, they believe that all the power should be there in whose hand? In the hands of the workers. That means they are the main center of the power. उनके हाथ में power होना चाहिए. And that is the philosophy which is followed by Russia, which is followed by China. What they believe that whatever laborers are working in the industries, the power should be in their hands. They should be having the major role in making the power at the center. So of the Indian Communist Party, Primitive Communism to Slavery, the books written by represent Marxist historiography. And with this Marxist historiography, you can also tell that they believe that communist philosophy is something which is totally opposite to democratic form of system. Democracy believes in people from the all walks of the society, from the all stratas of the society, and power should be in the hands of the people. Whereas the communist believe in that power should be in one hand, and especially if you will see in Russia and China, you can see that there is communist system, but there is only one party system. They only contest the election, and the people has to choose them. So there somewhere down the line, communist is something which is, we can say that something, there is a part of dictatorship, whereas democracy is totally opposite to the Communist Party. Now, Kosambi is an inspiration to many across the world. As you can see here on the ticket, on your left, on your right hand side, in the first picture, you can see Bharat India. On the ticket, his picture has been printed. That is Damodar Dharmananda Kosambi. He is mathematician by his profession, mathematician the wo, but he has written many books on the Marxist historiography. Kosambi is inspiration to many across the world, especially to Sanskrit philologists and Marxist scholars. He is one of the few, along with James Mill and Vincent Smith. He has to deeply influence the writing of Indian history. The government of Goa has instituted annual DD Kosambi Festival of Ideas in February 2008 to commemorate his birth centenary. Now, children, he is very renowned mathematician. Also, he has written many books on the Marxist scholars, and which turned into inspiration for many other Marxist scholars. So that's why government of Goa has, on his birth anniversary, has introduced different festivals, has introduced one festival, and his birth anniversary has been celebrated from the year 2008. Historian Irfan Habib said D. Kosambi and R.S. Sharma, together with Daniel Thorner, brought presence into the study of Indian history from the first time. Kosambi was an atheist. Now, children, as this Marxist historiography, on a whole, we can say it is related with production, means of production, ways to production, and it is related with mainly workers. You should just keep in mind that and what who is a famous historian to pen down the Marxist historiography. So there are different, but one you should remember very attentively, that is Damodar Damananda Kosambi. So with this, we have reached to the end of this part, and now we'll take evaluation. Whatever we have learned today. Now the first one is Justice Govind Ranade written the book named Dash. Madam, Varsha madam, kindly unmute the mic of the student, please.
Unmute yourself, beta.
Ma'am, the rise of Maratha power.
Very nice, very good, thank you. Another one question, another one fill in the blanks I'm going to speak, that is First War of Independence, 1857 was written by Dash.
Ma'am, can I give answer?
मैम
Yes,
मैम मैं
yes,
दूं
beta.
आंसर
Yes,
मैम
beta, yes.
मैम ये जब जब गवर्नमेंट जब वी द विच
Ma'am,
मैम
Yes,
मैम मैम
yes, beta.
मैम जस्ट
स्वतंत्र वीर विनायक दामोदर.
Swatantra Veer Vinayak Damodar. Okay,
दामोदर.
very good.
पानीपत
किसान आंदोलन जिंदाबाद किसान आंदोलन जिंदाबाद
Another question is, who
किसान
are called
आंदोलन
nationalistic
जिंदाबाद
historiographer?
किसान
दूसरा
आंदोलन
आंसर है
जिंदाबाद
दूसरा आंसर है
Yes, yes, sure.
मिस ये फर्स्ट द वर्ल्ड द इंडिपेंडेंट द 19 वर्ल्ड विच बाय Alexander.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking who are called nationalistic historiographer.
Miss Magazine. MAXIEST.
Ma'am,
Don't confuse
Vishnu
beta.
Shastri.
Yes, Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar. Very good. Another one.
Mahadev Govind Rane.
Yes, very good. Mahadev Govind Ranade. Okay.
Ramakrishna Gopal Bhandekar.
Very good. But what I'm asking who are called nationalistic historiographers. So simply you have to answer that those who have written good about our nation, or those who have presented the glory of our Indian subcontinent, those are called as nationalistic historiographer, which leads to further lineup of the Indian independence, which जिसने आजादी को और ज्यादा क्या किया, बढ़ावा दिया आजादी की लड़ाई के लिए, that will come under the nationalistic historiographer. Okay. Now the last question, name the important ideological schools.
Monastic history.
Okay.
Subternal history. Feminist history.
Okay. Marxist history. subalternist history, and the third one and the last one is feminist history. So today we have studied about the Marxist history, the first form of ideological school. In the next lecture, we are going to study about the two important ideological schools, that is subalternist historical school and the feminist school. Okay, so with this, I'm concluding my lecture here. Thanks for joining the lecture.